So we're getting to the Parliament of Papas. And I'm going to let Joe set this up. This one's his, but I was on some kind of Reddit roll the other day. And in our tabs there, Joe, in our Parliament, I threw in 2 or 3 more Am I the Butt Face ones that I found that I thought would work here. So what do you got, sir?
All right. Am I the butt face for telling my girlfriend that she should stop chasing the dream of becoming a writer?
Ooh. All right.
With Bob here, I thought this would be a great one to talk about. All right. So this comes to us from Redditor Connect Prune 2718.
Okay.
Yep. My girlfriend has always wanted to be a writer. She's been working on different projects for years, and she has never been published. The thing is that I think that she is not a good writer. She's not awful, but she doesn't have anything special. She's spending all her savings. She inherited a little bit of money after her mom died. She doesn't want to have to work, and I don't know what she's going to do when she runs out of money. Yesterday, she came crying home because she had a meeting with an agent and he rejected her. And I told her that maybe she should start thinking about another career and that this dream is killing her. I also told her that she has to realize that even if she becomes a published author, she's probably not going to make enough money to become a full-time one. She was so mad at me. She told me that I was not being a good boyfriend. Am I the butt face?
Man, we're missing a lot of context there. I want to throw my 2 cents real quick because I'm sure Bob's got a lot to say on this one. But my first, why would you tell her one rejection and you're knocking her down? But then also, from what I've heard, not necessarily wrong. Being a post author doesn't mean you can do it full time. But what is it? What is special? Right? She's okay, but nothing special. It's like your one opinion. 2, we're missing so much here. Anyway, Bob, is he the butt face?
Yeah. Well, I mean, take my writeriness out of this. Like, support your significant other. Be supportive. Yeah, you can be supportive and still be realistic. That's not what this felt like.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is some missing context here. Like, if she's writing romance, that's a lot different than if she's writing Meth Wizard books. One is a much easier path to prosperity than another. But
it's more of a niche,
Yeah,
you could really market.
Yeah,
Wildflower Blooms and Meth is the next anime. Come on,
there we go. But he is right. If she's meeting with an agent, she's trying to get traditionally published. That was the one thing. He's like, well, she hasn't been published yet. Well, if she doesn't have an agent and she's going traditionally published, that's why she's not published. It's not that her stuff isn't good enough or anything. It's that she hasn't got an agent. Now, the reason she doesn't have an agent may be because she's not good enough. I don't know. But
how hard is it to get those meetings, though?
To get a meeting?
Well, that's what it sounded like. He's like, she met with an agent and rejected her.
So I have met with agents in the past, but typically I paid for that. It's
okay.
Okay. They have these early on when I was trying to get traditionally published. They have these like writing workshops that you can go to, and like they provide a bunch of classes and stuff like that, like how to write query letters and things like that. But then you can pay extra to get FaceTime with an agent, and I did that 3 times, I think. And I got request for oh, hey, your pitch sounded cool. See me the first 10 pages or whatever. So if it was something like that, well, okay, she paid to be there. But I mean, I don't know anyone who just like meets with agents unless like if you're at a con, there'll be agents at a con and you might get lucky and get to pitch to them there or something like that. But yeah, the fact that she had a meeting with an agent is unusual and could be a good thing, or it could just be blind luck. You just never know. But
And so there was a rejection, but yeah,
yeah, but that's the thing is like publishing is rejection. It's turtles all the way down. Rejection built on rejection built on rejection. Unless you're that 1 in a million super lucky person. So yeah, you need to develop a thick skin pretty quickly. But the other thing I would say is like, does he even read the genre that she writes? If she's writing romance and he only reads R.A. Salvatore novels, that's not a good fit. She might write the best romance the world has ever seen, and he just doesn't get it because he doesn't get the nuance of romance. And that's just like good advice all around. If you're wanting to be an author, is only take advice from, like, if you get your friends and family to read it, make sure that they actually read the genre before you ascribe a lot of weight to their opinion. Because my stepmom doesn't read much gritty urban fantasy, so she doesn't know the tropes. So if she comes in and is like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever," it's like, "Well, thank you for being sweet," but I'm not going to weigh that as heavily as if one of my author friends who does write urban fantasy, "Oh, dude, this was really good." Yeah, I'll weigh that a little more heavily. So, yeah, but yes, he is a butt face. Be supportive. I'm very lucky. My lady wife is super supportive, and I would not be nearly as far along in my career as I am without her support. So,
yeah, she looked you dead in the eyes like, "I'm the only one who makes you cry. You don't go talk to them anymore, Bobby."
right. I'm the captain now,
and I'm assuming he's had this conversation with her before. He doesn't say that in this, but if he hasn't, and the first time he's brought it up that she needs to be realistic is right after this rejection where she's crying.
Yeah,
like,
choose your moment.
Timing, my man, timing.
Yeah.
And
it's killing her. He didn't say anything other than she's gone through her savings. I mean,
exactly.
What do you mean it's killing her?
And she doesn't have to give up on her dream. She can still get a job without giving up on her dream, which sounds like she does need to go that route. She's going to run out of money. It does sound like she needs to get a job.
I mean, if he wants her to be a trad wife, he needs to be a trad husband and just pay all her bills. That's how that works,
so
man.
that she can get trad published.
Hey!
Yeah! Look what you did, Joey.
There we go.
But yeah, no, I would label him the butt face in this scenario because timing, tact, all of that. Like,
I also can't help but wonder, is there some jealousy here that she's not spending that inherited money on him? Is that a factor in this? Has he been having some lingering resentment? Like, she inherited all this money, and if she had a job, we could use this money to go on trips.
And it could be fun money instead of survival money.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
So it sounds like we've all labeled him the butt face, but Reddit did not.
Really?
Reddit said he is not the butt face. The top comments
I'm
here.
sorry, this feels like a Jerry Springer moment, Joe. Like,
yeah.
But our results say.
Reddit's wrong a lot of times, but the top comment here says, "This is touchy. It's all in the way you say it," and provides some examples. So the first one is, "Go get a real job. Becoming a published author is just a pipe dream." That's a no. Do not do that. The example of what to do is, "Honey, you know that even once you start getting published, it's still a long, difficult road. And most authors can't make a living off their writing alone. Maybe you should think about other work you can manage that won't interfere. Maybe even part-time or something." And so they go on to say, just be absolutely sure you're in the second supportive camp. I know someone who was published, blah, 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 blah. So
this is getting my blood pressure up, man.
So it's all about how you go about it. And we don't have verbatim what he went about, but the fact that he's saying, hey, give up on your dream while she's crying, that in itself makes it.
And you also know he's going to put it in the best possible light.
Yes.
You know, he's not.
And even in the best possible light, in my book, he's coming off the butt face.
You know, and again, context, everything, whatever. But in that timing that he wrote, no, all you say is, I'm sorry, babe, that sucks. And then as the emotions come back, maybe you can have that secondary conversation of I'm with Bob, be supportive. But man, that tone, Joe, you put on that tone with the, well, you know, oh my God, is all I can do just to not strangle Reddit right now. Because that's exactly it. And I'm like,
this also reads as someone who's not a creative type. Yeah. And then with his opinions, he feels like he just doesn't really get it. And that top response, for all I know, that's some other not creative type. And then the three of us who are much more in the creative camp, we're all like, the heck with you.
Yeah. It's I will say, when I was first podcasting, my wife did not understand it. And we had fights about certain things that it would be involved in, and not about it so much, but involved in it. And I hit a milestone and threw a party, and people actually, oddly enough, flew in for the party and had a house full of people just for my podcast and having fun with it. And my wife was just like, oh, okay. So, you get it next week? No, but they're all nerds, so it doesn't really matter. It's fine. But I don't know what she had pictured before, but all the podcast nerds that showed up, was like, oh yeah, no, there's nothing to worry about here. Like, crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nerds. I do want to ask this before we get out of here, Bob. With the rejection train, did it ever like bring you to tears when you were trying to get stuff written? Like any of the feedback or the saying no, we're not going to publish it?
Never brought me to tears. I did have a realization. So I saved. I took pictures. Like what I would do is I printed out rejections and would tack them up on my wall.
Okay.
And then I started out doing short stories, trying to get them in anthologies. And then as I started getting like personalized rejections, those would go the next tier up. And then when I started getting acceptances, those were the highest tier. So it made a very fat bottomed pyramid. And I was organizing my files, and I stumbled on where I took a picture of like all those printouts, and I was looking at this rejection, and it wrecked me at the time. They were just so harsh. Like it was personalized harshness. Like they savaged me. But as I was going back and rereading it, I was like, wait a minute. This person is like pitching me like they're like in my, at this point I'd been published a little bit, and so I included like my other publications, which had been in like school lit journals and stuff like that. And this was a horror short story, and she was just savaging me. It's like, publishing in lit journals doesn't translate to this, and blah 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 blah. And you need to go pick up my book. About like basically how to be a better writer. And at the time it wrecked me. Now looking back, it's like, wait a minute. That seems kind of sketchy. Like who rejects someone harshly and is like, go buy my book. I looked her up. I looked her up, which I didn't do back then. And I did now. I was like, oh my God. Like all her books are awful. And so it's like I let this person like destroy me, like, not to tears, but like I was just like, oh God, what am I doing here? The story's awful, I guess. Without doing my due diligence to figure out, do I even need to listen to this person? Turns out I didn't. Yeah. So
glad you didn't.
Yeah.
So tell everybody one more. Oh, sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
I was just going to pipe in. Anyone who's looking to get into publishing. expect to be rejected a lot of times before you get accepted. I read an article, regardless of your feelings about J.K. Rowling, she is a financial success as an author. And her first book was rejected only 12 times, which, and I say only because
that's really low.
Authors get a lot of rejections before anything ever gets accepted. And so being an author, especially if you're going the traditional publishing route, is not for the faint of heart. It will require a lot of perseverance.
Yeah. You're going to get told no a lot unless you're very, very, very good or very, very, very lucky.